I never expected life to turn so cruel, then so poetic. When I first met Hannah, she was everything I'd ever hoped for in a partner. Smart, kind, with laughter that could pull me out of the darkest moods. We dated for 2 years, married in the third. We had dreams, plans, and I thought we had love that could weather anything. But anything came sooner than expected. At 34, I was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disease that left me bedridden for months. My muscles weakened. I lost weight. My job, well-paying, demanding, let me go after exhausting my medical leave. Bills stacked up. My once bright spirit dimmed. And Hannah? At first, she was by my side, bringing me soup, managing medications, comforting me when the pain became unbearable. But within weeks, I noticed a change. Her smiles became scarce, her patience thinner. She began staying out later, then overnight. When I asked, she brushed it off. "I need a break," she said. "I can't breathe in this house." 2 months later, she left. No warning, no note, just a text. "I can't do this anymore. I deserve to be happy too. I found someone who makes me feel alive again." I lay there in bed, too weak to scream, too numb to cry. My wife, the woman who vowed in sickness and in health, chose to rewrite the vows when things got inconvenient. She filed for divorce. Didn't even fight for assets. She just wanted out. The road to recovery was long and painful. But life, it seems, wasn't done with me yet. An old college buddy I hadn't spoken to in years reached out. He'd launched a tech startup, and after hearing my story, offered me a remote strategy role to ease back into work. From there, things escalated fast. My health returned. The startup exploded, and within a year, we were acquired by a major Silicon Valley firm. My bank account ballooned overnight. 7 figures. And so did the attention, including from someone I thought I'd never hear from again. It started with a DM. "Hey, I heard about your recovery. I'm so glad you're doing better. Can we talk?" Then a call. Then another. "I made a mistake," she said one night on the phone. Her voice quivered, like she was a victim now. "He wasn't who I thought he was. He used me. I thought I wanted something else, but I just wanted you to be you again. Oh, and I heard you're doing really well. Maybe we could meet up? Start over." I stared at my screen, speechless for a moment. "You left me when I couldn't walk to the bathroom without help, Hannah, when I couldn't feed myself. And now you want to come back because I'm healthy and rich. That's not fair." "No," I said firmly. "What wasn't fair was you leaving when I needed you most." I didn't block her. I didn't need to. The silence between us was louder than anything else. Now, I walk with strength again, physically, emotionally, financially. I found peace. I found people who value loyalty, not just lifestyle. And Hannah? She watches from the sidelines. I know because she still likes my posts sometimes. Still comments under mutual friends' photos when I appear in them. Regret lives in her shadow now. I don't hate her, but I've learned something priceless. Some people love the sunshine, but flee at the first sign of a storm. And I deserve someone who brings an umbrella. It's been over a year since Hannah tried to come back. Since then, life has only moved forward. I used to wonder if I'd ever feel whole again after she left. Not just physically. I mean the kind of wholeness that comes from knowing you're truly seen, cared for, and accepted in your darkest moments. Hannah's departure carved a scar, yes, but also cleared space for something better, for someone better. Her name is Ava. We met at a wellness retreat I attended during the final phase of my recovery. She was one of the organizers, a physiotherapist with a mind like fire and a heart that had clearly weathered storms of its own. She didn't know my net worth, didn't ask about my past. She cared about the man who was learning to trust life again. Ava saw the tremble in my hand when I tried to lift a weight and said, "You don't have to be strong for me. You just have to try." That was all it took. She never compared me to who I used to be. She only encouraged me to grow into who I was becoming. Hannah tried one last time. It was at a charity gala I was invited to speak at, sharing my story of illness, resilience, and tech entrepreneurship. I was mingling afterward when I saw her across the room, dressed impeccably, glass of wine in hand, smiling with that same charm that once hypnotized me. She walked up like no time had passed. "You look amazing," she said. "Truly, I'm so proud of you." I gave a polite nod. "Thank you." "I still think about us," she continued, her voice softer. "Maybe we weren't ready back then. Maybe now we are." Before I could speak, Ava appeared beside me, slipping her hand into mine. Confident, grounding. "This is Ava," I said calmly, meeting Hannah's eyes. She stayed. There was the pause, that flicker of realization. The woman who left me in ruins was now standing face to face with a version of me she abandoned, the one who rose again, but not for her. She murmured something I couldn't quite hear, turned and walked away. This time for good. I've learned something else through it all. Suffering exposes a truth, not just in others, but in ourselves. I learned that I could rebuild, that I didn't need someone to save me. I only needed someone who wouldn't run. Money comes and goes. Health can fail and return. But character? That stays. And love, real love, isn't measured by how loud someone claps when you're winning. It's measured by who kneels beside you when you're too broken to stand. And this time I stood with someone who never let go. The past is behind me, and I wouldn't rewrite a word. A few weeks after the gala, I received a letter in the mail. Not an email, not a text. A real letter, handwritten in looping cursive I instantly recognized. "Hannah, I don't expect forgiveness. I know I failed you in a way that can't be undone. I replayed everything. Your diagnosis, the nights I avoided coming home, the moment I hit send on that text. I was scared. I was selfish. I didn't know how to love someone through pain because I'd never been taught how to stay when things got hard. I see now that I didn't just leave a sick man. I left the best man I ever knew. I read it once. Then again, I didn't cry. I didn't get angry. I didn't feel triumphant either. Just still. I folded the letter neatly and placed it in the back of a drawer. Not out of spite, out of peace. Because the chapter was already closed. Her apology, though late, didn't need a reply. Sometimes closure isn't a conversation. It's the quiet knowing that you no longer need one. Today, Ava and I live in a house near the ocean. It's not massive, not some symbol of wealth, but it's ours. On good mornings, we walk barefoot along the shore with coffee cups in hand, talking about anything and everything. On harder days, she holds me when old pain flares, physically or otherwise, and reminds me that healing isn't linear. I've invested in health tech startups now, one's focus on chronic illness management and caregiver support. Funny how pain pushes you into purpose. A few of my success stories have gone viral. I've been invited to podcasts, panels, even a TED Talk. They call me resilient, inspirational. But what I really am is grateful. Grateful that I got sick. Grateful that I lost everything. Grateful that I found out who people truly were and who I was when the floor fell out beneath me. Because without that season of suffering, I'd still be living a lie. Married to someone who loved the man I was on paper. Not the one in the hospital bed. Not the one rising, brick by painful brick, from the rubble. I once thought heartbreak was the worst thing that could happen. Now I know the truth. The worst thing is staying where you are unloved. The best thing is walking away from it, even if you have to crawl. And when you rise, let them see, let them watch, but never, ever let them back in. The illness is in remission. The business has grown beyond what I imagined. Ava and I are engaged. She said yes last fall under maple tree in Vermont, her favorite place in the world. We're planning a small wedding, nothing extravagant. Just close friends, laughter, and promises that mean something. Sometimes I catch myself staring out at the ocean, thinking about the man I used to be, the version of me who begged someone to stay, who thought love was supposed to hurt, as long as it was passionate. But now I know better. Love isn't what shows up at your highest. Love is what doesn't walk away at your lowest. And when you finally find that kind of love, the real, patient, tested kind, you stop mourning what left. You start thanking it for leaving. The woman who abandoned me taught me what love is not. The woman who stayed showed me what love is meant to be. And that's where my story ends. Not with revenge, not with regret, but with peace, with healing, and with a hand in mine that never let go.